Hey y'all, it's Mac with SumnerAcre. So I'm having like a lot of questions come across my Instagram and TikTok, so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do a full YouTube video on how I run / market my self-serve farm stand. Let's kind of jump into this. This might be a little bit of a longer video because I have talking points. I did this professionally. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. Pick out your goals for your stand. So my goals are, when it comes to my community, I live in a very small community and very rural, and I neighbor a tourist town, which groceries are pretty expensive there, but we're not near as expensive as most places around here. Well, I'll get to my prices because apparently my eggs are very controversial. My goals are to bring cheap and good quality items to my community, and also something you need to ask yourself of when you're starting a self-serve farm stand is, are you okay with things going missing? Because, in my area, we don't have a crime problem. In my brain, I already accepted the fact that if someone takes something, say a dozen eggs, they must really need them. Now, I'm gonna say this. I'm home all day. I work from home. I have security cameras, I have dogs, and usually my dogs start barking when someone pulls up, so I go and peek out the window all creepily. But if I'm available, and we also have security cameras, and normally after someone comes by, I go out and check the stand. So then I know okay, well, this person didn't pay. I'm the kind of person that, if someone needs something, talk to me. Say they can't afford the $2 dozen eggs, come talk to me. Because I'm willing to help somebody. I'm willing to, do what I can to help somebody. And now, if instead of stealing, but other people have different morals than I do, and that's not a bad thing. It's just who I am. I'm here to help people, and that's my whole goal with my farm stand. And also the secondary goal that I have is for my farm stand to pay for all my animals. How do I advertise my farm stand? So I have a Facebook page dedicated to my farm stand. Also, that Facebook page, we have really intimate updates on oh, it's gonna open a little later. Oh, I'm baking things. When I had my impromptu bakery bake sale a couple weeks ago, I literally told them I've been up since 1 a.m. baking and all that stuff, and that we had a huge turnout for that. And also I keep them up to date on fun posts like my employee of the month and all that stuff. Also, I go and I post on our community pages, and we also, when we have something big, so this weekend, the first weekend of May, I tend to try to have a bake sale every first weekend of the month now, and so I have quite a bit of things going on going into this bake sale. So I'm going to advertise outside of our community, especially when I start having my seedling, tomato seedlings, stuff like that. I advertise outside of the community I'm in. I look into homestead groups, because there are some people who are interested in homesteading, but they can't, they can't have chickens, or they don't have an area big enough for a garden because they have chickens, or they can't have chickens because they have a garden. And so people would be interested in helping you support like-minded people. That's kind of how I advertise. I haven't taken an ad out in the paper, and I've been thinking about it because there's some older people who would be interested in this kind of thing that do not have Facebook. But basically I've been going off of Facebook and word of mouth and all that stuff. So are there any marketing items that I use? So I try to think of fun things to keep people interested, and having really flashy graphics. I'll pop some stuff up here. One thing, I try to do a bake sale first of every month. I was gonna do every other week, but I figured that's gonna be just too much. So I'm gonna try to do a bake sale first of every month. The last one did amazing. I made in one day more than the first month of having this stand. Have employee of the months, which is our chickens, and as soon as our ducklings hatch and they start laying eggs, then they'll be in the drawing for being employee of the month. And also I use Canva to create literally everything. I've had this since 2021. I'll have a link to it. I don't know, I'm not an affiliate or anything. I pay for it. I've paid for it since 2021. I use it for YouTube, I use it to make logos sometimes and all that stuff. How to like put together my Etsy shop deals and all that. So, but that's kind of what I use. And then also, you know, if you're starting a farm stand, make yourself a TikTok, make yourself an Instagram, and film yourself opening and closing it. Like in the morning, upload a TikTok or a reel or both of opening your stand, and then at night post closing. And you know, also like try to be open with your followers, because like I'm shamefully very open and so every month I go into my little farm stand bag. This is where I keep everything that I make and also receipts, and I open this up and I show everybody what I made in the month, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. And so far I've done that. This will be going into my 3rd month of having this farm stand, and you know, we've been making good money, but we do things a little differently than most. So here's my tips for success, because you know, we've obviously seen success. Be open and honest with your customers. You know, hey, I can't open at 9 a.m. It's gonna be more about noon because I fell behind track, or oops, I slept in. So be open and honest. Look at prices in your area. I don't know why people hate my egg prices. I have my egg prices at $2 a dozen, which is a standard in our area. Like cost of living is so different in so many different areas. I even verified with my husband. My husband, he is a very number kind of guy, and he's very big on pricing and stuff like that. He runs his own business, and so I asked him, I said, okay, $2 a dozen, are we paying chickens? Like, are we still having to put money out towards our chickens? And he was like, no, you're actually making money. Like, we are able, with our $2 a dozen eggs, pay for our chicken feed and also pay for ourselves eating our own eggs. And so we are making a profit on our eggs. Get the prices in your area, because I know the upper end that I see is like $3.50, but I think the $3.50 are more people who will deliver the eggs to you, and we don't. I mean, there's a select few people we will, but you know, we don't deliver eggs. Another thing, number 3 tip, do not step on other businesses' toes. No one wants to support a business who trashes or blatantly copies another business. Now, when I started making my farm stand, I came out and I said, you know, Rose Hips Rewritten inspired me to make a like TikTok of opening my farm stand, and you know, you gotta give credit where credit is due. But like, I didn't go and blatantly copy her farm stand. I made mine out of an old outhouse that was here on the homestead to begin with. Another thing, I'm gonna try to pop it up, or I might pop it up over me. Track your cost, your inventory, and what you make. So I have this Excel spreadsheet that I have Monday through Sunday on, and I change those out every week. So, you know, this Monday I put out eggs priced at $2. I had 3 out there, sold 0. Tuesday I had eggs, I had 3, $2, and I sold 3. So when I sell those, I go over to my month earning little area. So April 28th, I made $2. April 30th, I made $6 because somebody bought 3 dozen eggs. April 30th also, we spent $108.73 on bake sale ingredients, and so I have that marked out. You know, this month I've only made $8, so hopefully my bake sale goes well and we pay off the ingredients but also make a profit. So when it comes to our pricing for like our bake sale items, what I do, it is painful. But I found a little calculator, and I'll put it in the description because it kind of helped. But it's like a cake pricing calculator, so it just calculates what you should cost for your cake. So I took that round cost and I actually divided it by how many items. So like divided it by 105 cake pops. And so basically, it'd be $10 per 6 cake pops, making a profit on it. Same for my recipe for chocolate chip cookies, should make me 36 cookies, 29 cents per cookie. So what I'm actually going to be selling my chocolate chip cookies is $1 per cookie or 75 cents per cookie for like a 4 cookie bundle. And so, you know, you gotta bring your prices up. And then I calculated it that if I were to sell absolutely everything, I'd make $372. That is $264 profit. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, you know, I was doing it wrong. I'm awful at math. I was trying to be like, oh, chocolate chip cookies, it's this amount for a bag of flour. And then my husband's like, you're not using a whole bag of flour, so you need to break it down into a cost of a cup of flour. So like a cup of flour is $4.70. And so I had to do that, but luckily where we shop, you know, these are just going to be my standards. Even if we go buy in bulk and it would ultimately be cheaper per cup, I'm keeping those prices. Yeah, so that's kind of how I track everything for my business. Something also I want to recommend to do is, and this is what we have been doing, and we'll probably still this month until next month, take what you make for the first few months of your farm stand and put it back into your stand to help improve your farm stand. So, you know, what we made last month, I put in and I upgraded my packaging and bought some things for my Etsy shop and all that stuff. And so that's kind of what we've been doing. And then what we make this month, I'm going to be putting it in to buy things to make soap and candles. And then after that, once we kind of get like those things going, like I'll have the soap molds, I'll have the candle like wax melter and all that stuff. Then we can start plucking away and be like, okay, well, hey, this pays for the chicken feed. Oh, this buys us new fencing, and all that stuff. So that's kind of what we've been doing. Another thing is somebody, like, it's a common asked question of like, are we abiding by any laws? So here in Kansas, we have a cottage food law. So we're kind of protected for that. Now, when you kind of get into like more temperature controlled items, say like, oh, you want to sell breakfast burritos, you know, you kind of impeding on danger. Unless you have like a refrigerator and a microwave out there, which maybe one day. And like for our eggs, yeah, they're temperature controlled, but they're farm fresh eggs, so they can stay out. Now, when it comes getting deeper into summer, Kansas gets really hot. I plan on having a mini fridge out there with the eggs. And then like, you know, my cinnamon rolls, for the first time I made cream cheese frosting, but this time I'm actually making like a hot weather buttercream frosting for them. So, you know, these could technically just sit out, and they're going to. And nobody's gonna get sick off of it. So you have to kind of play it safe, and then also plan for the worst. You know, put attention dietary and allergies on your food, just, you know, because there's gonna be that one odd person like, I'm allergic to something and I'm gonna sue you, and so you rather, you know, cover your rear than not. So I put that on everything, especially like my sourdough, because, you know, my sourdough starter, it's made of all different types of flour, and so I want people to know that, like, if you're allergic to rye flour, don't eat it. Yeah, so if you guys have any more questions or anything, leave that below and I could do a part 2. Definitely go check out my social media, and if you're here from TikTok and Instagram, hey, think about subscribing, and subscribe if you haven't already. And stay tuned for more YouTube, because we're getting back into the longer videos because I had my nice little break, and yeah, I'm really excited and been amazing. And yeah, just the last couple months of having my farm stand has been wonderful, and growing a social media like community, amazing. 10 out of 10 recommend, because you find your people. And y'all, some of y'all are a little as weird as I am, and I'm happy about that. We're a little family. Like I said, leave any questions you have below and I could do a part 2. And stay tuned, because I plan on filming more and more videos, at least one YouTube video a week. I'll talk to you guys later. Stay tuned, because we got little duckies coming. I'm so excited. I can't believe I got my husband to let me buy duck eggs. He said no, but then I got like gifted a incubator from Chick Cozy, and then he was like, okay, fine, we can buy duck eggs. So